The air crackled with anticipation. It was January 2nd, 2025, and the new year had brought a strange stillness with it. My foot surgery had gone well, but the recovery was proving to be a trial. Confined to my couch, I found myself reflecting more than usual. I thought about my life, my loved ones, and the state of the world. There was a pervasive unease in the air, a sense that things were off-kilter. The news was filled with stories of political unrest, natural disasters, and increasing social divides. It felt as though the world was holding its breath, bracing for something momentous. Little did I know that something momentous was closer than I could have ever imagined. It wasn't a war or a natural disaster that awaited us, but an event that transcended the boundaries of human understanding: the rapture. January 10th, 2025. The day began like any other. A soft winter light filtered through the curtains as I sipped my morning coffee. The familiar sounds of the city were just beginning to stir. Then it happened. A sound, unlike anything I had ever heard, pierced the air. It was a deafening trumpet blast, a celestial chorus that seemed to shake the very foundations of the earth. My breath caught in my throat as a wave of dizziness washed over me. It felt as though time itself had skipped a beat. When I opened my eyes, the world as I knew it had vanished. Confusion reigned in the streets. Cars collided, their drivers vanished, planes fell from the sky, their pilots gone. The world was in chaos, and a chilling realization began to dawn. The rapture had happened. I watched in horror as people I knew, people I loved, simply disappeared. My neighbor, Mrs. Jenkins, a kind woman who always had a plate of cookies ready, was gone. Her walker lay on its side, as if she had just let go of it. Across the street, I saw my friend Mark's truck swerve and crash into a parked car. Mark, a devout Christian who never missed a Sunday service, was nowhere to be found. A profound sense of loss and bewilderment washed over me. Why was I left behind? As the initial shock began to wear off, I noticed something extraordinary happening in the sky. Shimmering figures, bathed in a radiant light, were ascending towards a point in the heavens. They moved with an otherworldly grace, their faces filled with a peace and joy I had never witnessed before. It was a sight both terrifying and beautiful, a testament to the reality of the divine. Among those ascending, I recognized the radiant face of Sarah, a young woman from my church. I remembered her unwavering faith, her dedication to helping others, and her infectious optimism. And there, rising above the cityscape, was Mr. Henderson, the elderly gentleman who always sat in the back pew, his Bible clutched tightly in his hand. He had lived a life of quiet devotion, and now he was reaping his eternal reward. Section 5. The weight of their absence. The days that followed the rapture were a blur of confusion and despair. The world was plunged into chaos. Governments collapsed, economies crumbled, and society as we knew it unraveled. But even amidst the turmoil, it was the personal loss that cut the deepest. The empty chair at the dinner table, the unanswered phone calls, the silence in the streets where laughter and conversation once thrived. These were the constant reminders of those who had been left behind. The weight of their absence was a heavy burden to bear. Where was God in all of this? Why had he chosen to spare some and leave others behind? Doubts and questions gnawed at my soul. It was a time of profound spiritual searching, a struggle to reconcile faith with the harsh realities of a world seemingly abandoned by its creator. Section 6. Faith's enduring light. As the days turned into weeks, the sky seemed to mirror our emotions, constantly shifting and changing, and the weeks into months, the passage of time felt both swift and agonizingly slow. I found myself drawn to a small group of people who had also been left behind. We were strangers at first, but our shared experiences quickly bonded us. We were a motley crew, united by our shared loss and our desperate search for answers. Each of us carried our own burdens, yet we found strength in each other. We met in secret, fearful of persecution from those who blamed us for the rapture, who saw our presence as a sign of God's disfavor. The fear was palpable, but so was our resolve, who saw our presence as a sign of God's disfavor. Their judgmental stares and harsh words were a constant reminder of our precarious situation. We clung to our faith, finding solace in prayer and scripture, which became our lifeline. In those moments of quiet reflection, we felt a connection to something greater than ourselves. But the pain of our separation from loved ones was a constant ache. Memories of happier times haunted us, yet they also fueled our hope for a reunion. One evening, as we gathered in our makeshift sanctuary, the flickering candlelight casting shadows on the walls, a sense of peace settled over me. A sense of peace settled over me. It was a moment of clarity, a brief respite from the chaos that surrounded us. It was as if a weight had been lifted from my shoulders. The burdens of fear and uncertainty seemed to dissipate, replaced by a profound sense of calm. I realized that even though the world had changed and we were navigating through uncharted territory, there was still hope. Even though we were surrounded by darkness and despair, the light of faith still shone brightly within us. God had not abandoned us. In our darkest moments, His presence was a beacon of hope, guiding us through the storm. He was still present, still working in our lives, even when we couldn't see it. His love and grace were the threads that held us together, even in the midst of our suffering. And in that realization, we found the strength to carry on, to face each new day with renewed faith and determination. Section 7. The importance of connection. In the aftermath of the rapture, I found myself clinging to the relationships that remained. The world as we knew it had changed irrevocably, and the sense of loss was overwhelming. Yet, amidst the chaos, the connections we had with each other became our anchor, grounding us in a reality that was otherwise slipping away. The bonds of friendship and family became lifelines in a world that felt increasingly alien and hostile. These relationships were not just about companionship, they were about survival. In a time when everything seemed uncertain, the familiar faces of friends and family provided a semblance of normalcy and hope. We shared our grief, our fears, and our hopes for the future. These shared moments of vulnerability brought us closer together, creating a network of support that was vital for our emotional and mental well-being. It was in these moments that we found the strength to carry on. We learned to rely on each other for support, for encouragement, and for reminders that we were not alone. The simple act of being there for one another, whether through a kind word or a helping hand, made all the difference. It was these small acts of kindness that kept us going. I will never forget the kindness of Mrs. Ramirez, a woman I barely knew before the rapture. Her generosity and compassion were a beacon of light in those dark times. She showed me that even in the face of unimaginable hardship, there was still room for kindness and humanity. She took me in when I had nowhere else to go, sharing her meager rations and offering words of comfort. Her home became a sanctuary, a place where I could find solace and a momentary escape from the harsh realities outside. Her actions taught me the true meaning of selflessness. Her faith, though tested, never wavered, and her example gave me strength during those dark days. Watching her unwavering belief in the goodness of people and the power of community inspired me to hold on to hope, even when it seemed like there was none left. It was through these acts of kindness, these expressions of love in the face of adversity, that I began to understand the true meaning of community. It wasn't just about living in the same place or sharing resources. It was about being there for each other, lifting each other up, and finding strength in unity. In the end, it was these connections that gave us the resilience to face whatever came next. Section 8. Finding strength in community. As time went on, I realized that the rapture, while a time of great sorrow and loss, was also a time of great awakening. It forced us to confront our own mortality, to examine our lives and our priorities. It stripped away the superficial and revealed the things that truly mattered: faith, family, and community. We learned to live with the knowledge that our time on earth was finite, that every day was a gift. We found solace in serving others, in rebuilding our shattered world, and in sharing the message of hope that had been entrusted to us. We became a beacon of light in a world shrouded in darkness, a testament to the enduring power of faith and the resilience of the human spirit. Section 9. A call to love and hope. The rapture was a wake-up call, a stark reminder that our time on earth is but a fleeting breath. It was a moment that shook us to our core, forcing us to confront the fragility of our existence and the transient nature of our worldly pursuits. In the stillness of those empty streets and the quiet of dawn, we found ourselves reflecting on what truly matters. It taught us that the choices we make matter, that our actions have eternal consequences. Every decision, no matter how small, ripples through the fabric of time, shaping our destiny and the destinies of those around us. We realize that our lives are a series of crossroads, each path leading to a different outcome, each choice a testament to our values and beliefs. But most importantly, it revealed the boundless love and mercy of our Creator. In the midst of our darkest hours, we felt an overwhelming sense of divine presence, a comforting embrace that reassured us of His unwavering love. The light breaking through the clouds was a symbol of hope, a reminder that even in the bleakest moments there is always a glimmer of divine grace. Even in the face of unimaginable loss, we found hope in the promise of redemption. The ruins of our past became the foundation for a new beginning, a testament to the resilience of the human spirit. We saw communities coming together, rebuilding not just structures, but also the bonds that hold us together. The sunrise over a recovering city was a powerful image of renewal and the enduring promise of a brighter future. We learned that no matter what trials we may face, God is always with us, offering comfort, guidance, and the assurance of His unwavering love. In moments of solitude, we found peace in prayer and reflection, knowing that we are never truly alone. The light beams through the trees and the serene landscapes became symbols of His presence, guiding us through the challenges and reminding us of His eternal promise. Let us live each day to its fullest, loving one another, serving others, and sharing the message of hope with a world in desperate need of salvation. Acts of kindness and service became our way of expressing gratitude for the blessings we have received. In the smiles of those we help and the joy of community gatherings, we found a deeper sense of purpose and fulfillment. For in the end, it is not our possessions or accomplishments that will matter, but the love we have shared and the difference we have made in the lives of others. The legacy we leave behind is not measured by material wealth, but by the impact we have had on the hearts and souls of those we have touched. Let us strive to be beacons of love and hope, planting seeds of kindness and nurturing the growth of a compassionate and united world.